So in this question here, we're given a diagram with a circle centred at the origin O, and on that circle there is a point P which makes an angle of 60 degrees from the positive x-axis with the line going from the origin to the point P. Now what we know is the circle has an equation of x squared plus y squared equals 16, and what we want to do is find the coordinates of the point P. Okay, so where are we going to start? Well, let's have a look at the equation for the circle first. Now, the general formula for an equation for a circle is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals r squared. Now, a and b, they will be the centre point of the circle. Now you can see here that this circle is centred at the origin. So here we've got x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared, and is equals 16. So therefore it's centred at a and b, which is 0. So a and b, those coordinates are 0, 0. Now our radius squared is 16. So radius squared equals 16. So therefore the radius equals 4. Obviously we're not interested in the minus version of the square root because it's a length. Okay, so we know that this point here is in a straight line, that is 4. So what we could do is we could draw a triangle to find our coordinates of P. So let's do that. So if we draw this line, that's our origin. That's our point P. Then if we draw a straight line down, parallel to the y-axis, and that will be that point there. And then we draw a line along to represent our x-axis. And this point here will be around about here where it meets the x-axis. So now, with what we've just deduced here, our radius is 4, so the hypotenuse of this triangle is 4. Now we know the angle here is 60 degrees, so that's 60 degrees. That will be a right angle. So we've got a right angled triangle. So we can find our coordinates by using this length here for our x coordinate and this one here for our y coordinate. So I'm going to call that x and that r y. Okay, so now we can just use SOHCAHTOA to find our values for x and our values for y. So for y, we want opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 60 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse. So that's y over 4. Okay, so now sine of 60 degrees, we know what that is. So sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. So we've got root 3 over 2 equals y over 4. So now with just simple algebra, we get this y on its own by multiplying both sides by 4. So now we would have, if I multiply this by 4, so let's put that note there, I would now have 4 root 3 over 2 equals y. So I brought this one up to the top. So now these will cancel out to leave me with a 2. So therefore my length of y is 2 root 3. So I can write that in there. So that would be my calculations to calculate my y value. So now let's have a go at calculating the x value. Well, for the x value we want cosine. So let's do the calculations here. Cosine of 60 degrees. That is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's 4. So adjacent is x, hypotenuse is 4. So x over 4. Okay, now we know what cosine of 60 degrees is. That's a standard angle in our unit circle, as was sine of 60. So that is a half. So a half equals x over 4. So as we did here, to get rid of this 4 on the bottom, multiply both sides by 4. So now we would get 4 over 2 equals x, and therefore we can see our x is 2. So x equals 2. Okay, so therefore our coordinates, if x is 2 and y is 2 root 3, our coordinates of P, so P coordinates are, x value is 2 and y is 2 root 3. And that is a good place to stop. Okay.